Oh, my cards, my tarot cards. Got my tarot cards. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, and you will see I am. Well, everyone knows by now, I'm sure. I am in Mexico. So I'm staying with dear friends of mine, and this is my little place that they've made up for me up here at the back. And it's been a wonderful adventure. Apologies for the delay starting the show. Pardon me, half an hour later. And let everyone know in the chat here and also on the community group, because the local kids were serving all of the adults dinner here as a thank you for us looking after them. They wanted to thank everyone by cooking for everyone, so they served us this beautiful meal on the beach, and it was just like the main course and the dessert coming as well. And I didn't want to miss out on all of the food, and my friend's kid was helping serve as well, and it was brilliant. So so sorry for that delay, but it would have been just cruel just to leave at the moment when they put so much effort in, and they did wonderfully well. So thank you everyone for joining me. You're all starting to pile into the chat, and oh my goodness, it's been very, very nice to be away, but also as well the time zone difference. I'm in sort of like the same time zone as you guys, because as you know, normally I do like with my Hoagly show that goes up at midnight. I often start at midnight, and it just makes such a difference to be able to kind of start, even though I'm starting a bit later. Your evening, what time is it now? It's now 10 o'clock. It's saying on my 10 p.m. Eastern, but Mexico time. But still, that is a difference then, say, starting at 12 midnight a.m. my UK time. So, yeah, I'm thinking about things. I might have to do something where maybe I might reside in South America at some times of the year and stuff like that. So we'll have to see. So lots of you are in here. Please submit your questions to me in the chat, because I've got one question that was in, but it was only the one. Where are you guys? Yeah, surely you have questions. Yeah. So, but let me know, how was your festive period? How was your festive season? I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me just move this a little bit like this. I hope you had fun. I hope you ate lots of food, had lots of drinks and frivolity. And for anyone that spent it on their own, I hope that you were able to find some comfort and solace out there. Us YouTubers were still out doing our thing, all of that stuff. So even if you celebrated your Christmas on your own, I hope it was a good one, at least a spiritual time, a reflective time and stuff like that. So let's see what's going on. There's a few of you that are here already. So a lot of you are clicking, you're writing in the chat to say good evening, and everyone in the house, thank you. Someone's saying, so what is it? Nancy's saying here, fry up. Yes, fry up, because it's like a mix. It's like a melange. Do I have my Shakespeare book? Actually, yes, I do have Shakespeare. 1 minute. Un momento, per favore. Shakespeare is here. He traveled with me. And let's see who else is in here, and then we'll begin the show. Sorry, my glasses are a little bit streaky. So this is Clarence Fields here, everyone, friends and Hogarth. And then let's see here where we're joining from here. Who's also joining us? Kathleen O'Malley. Hello, Hogarth, joining from McKinney, Texas. Howdy. I love the Texan accent, I must say. It's one of my favorites. Texan and New York. Let's see who else is here as well. Already we've got a question that's kind of come in. Let's maybe read on this one. What do you see for the future of journalism? Will independent media take over mainstream media? And that's coming from Mitz. Great question, Mitz. Oh, sorry, this table is slightly wobbly, so I might have a little bit of a wobbly action here. Guess what, guys? Now, you will remember, do you remember when I made my prediction in November of 2023? And do you remember I said when Saturn moves into sidereal Aquarius, all things to do with AI, internet, technology, intelligence, things to do with space and all that stuff. Do you remember there was the Chinese space balloon as well, and there was all of that kind of stuff? Well, there someone on, what was it called? Someone on LinkedIn shared this channel, which is called Channel One, which is the world's first AI, completely AI generated news channel. And when you see the talkers, they kind of basically look human, but they're completely AI generated. I'm going to have to put that in a link somewhere so you guys can see for yourself. So that is actually a very pertinent question. Let me click on that. Let me just click it up again. And I'm going to pull some cards on that, and let's have a look see. So the question is from Mitz: what do you see for the future of journalism? Will independent media take over mainstream media? It's going to be all sorts. Let me get my thing open here. And this will be the first pull of the day. And let's see what the cards have to say. I've got a very little desk here. It's a lovely, tiny little desk. And what's interesting is, for me, is that the cards, it's so humid here. You see that the cards kind of clump together because of the damp and the humidity. So let's just click off that for a second. Okay, well, there's a few of you joining here. For those of you that are joining, please don't forget as well to like and subscribe if you've not subscribed to the channel yet. That will be wonderful. Press the like and the bell notification. And for those of you that will want to join me on a retreat next year, and there were several. There were what was it? It was Costa Rica, Santa Fe, and Rome with Florence combined. And I can let you guys know, Rome has won. Yeah, Rome has run. The majority of you wanted to go to Rome, so that's likely going to be the first one. It's going to be happening sometime in mid-October 2024. So there's plenty of time to get ready for the retreat and come along if you're hearing about this for the first time. You can pay in installments. So it's like a 25% deposit, and you can pay in installments. You have up until July 2024 to pay, and you can do your own thing. Some people, if they want to extend it forward, can even do an 18-month payment scheme as well, which are specifics which I don't know that much about, but we do that through Trova Trip. So yeah, it's really exciting. So I look forward to telling you more about the itinerary, about what's happening. But essentially, we'll be in Rome. I'll be doing maybe a couple of hours of Vedic astrology each day because many of you are very keen on that. It's going to be for about 6 days. And I'll maybe do the astrology 4 days out of 6 because we're also going to be hopping on the train, going to Florence, eating in restaurants in Florence, then going to the Tuscan countryside for wine tasting and all of this stuff. In Rome, we'll be doing food and excursions, the Trova fountain, the Colosseum, all of that stuff. Fiat 500, where they build all the Fiat cards and stuff like that. So the idea is, my plan is kind of like we do some of the Vedic astrology after breakfast, and then we just enjoy the day. So what I'll do is, after this video goes up, I'll put some of the things in the description for anyone who's hearing this for the first time. And let's hope it is the first of many. And I really look forward to meeting you all. It's going to be my birthday month as well, because as you know, I'm born middle of October. But the thing I'm looking most forward to is all of you meeting each other. I'm also thinking as well, depending on the day, of doing live shows as well from the retreat. So you guys who is able to make it will be in the background, projecting live to everyone, like now, how I do either on my Thursday fry up or Hogely. We'll see how the timing works. All right, so the future of journalism. Ooh. Will alternative media overtake established legacy media? Let's have a look. Got to make a bit of space here on my, sorry folks, the camera's going to wobble a little bit. Let's do that. Do you see, look, I don't have that much room. It's a tiny little desk. All right, let me just put the camera down so you can see my hands. Let's have a look-see. Let's have a look-see. Will alternative media, and maybe by extension AI, overtake conventional media? Let's have a look. I don't have as much space to spread out my cards as I normally would, but let's have a look-see. Let's put that here. I have to put it really down. I don't think you can actually see it. 1 minute. Because I've literally got the cards on top of the laptop here. Tiny little desk. All right. Let's have a look. Turn over. Can you guys hear me okay as well? I want to make sure you can hear me all right. Got to be very careful, don't press the wrong thing on my computer. All right, here we are. First card here we see is the smug merchant. Yeah, so this is a card that deals with wish fulfillment, satisfaction, etc., stuff like that. So the question was, will alternative media and the like eventually overtake conventional media? And I would have to say this is probably a yes. Yeah. Why is that? Because people have realized that every media show is curated to a greater or lesser extent, but I think it's reached the point now, particularly with what's transpired, particularly since 2020, that a lot of people no longer trust what is being said to them in the mainstream media. And this isn't just like your Fox News and stuff like that. This is across the whole spectrum. I think people in general are really starting to question things, and I think that is an important thing to do. Yeah, I would always say question everything. Anyone who watches particularly channels like mine or others probably are more inclined to do so anyway. But in terms of will alternative media overtake, this looks like a yes to me. This is the wish fulfillment card. But why? Why is it taken over? If we look here, the obstacle position, we have the Queen of Cups. And as we know, the Queen of Cups is a very kind of creative force. It's primarily considered a feminine energy, but it can apply to men as well. So it deals with creativity and intuition. But here, if you see, as Lady G would say, here you have got what her crucible of abominations, or what are the secrets contained therein. This is turned up in the obstacle position, so a lot of people feel with conventional media that they are not being told the truth. Things are being concealed from them, and it really is kind of like that case, because the reality is, if we think of modern media today, it's expensive to run. It has a lot to do with sponsorship. And there is a saying that we have in the UK, maybe you have the same in America, which is, those that pay the piper get to call the tunes. And it's no different from media. If you are a big benefactor, if you're someone who's contributing a lot, if you're a multi-millionaire or billionaire or whatever, it's the same with politics as well. You get into influence policy. Big money does influence a lot of the media. So I think a lot of people are realizing that they're not necessarily being presented with the truth. Yeah. If we look here in the middle card, we have got the Fool card. So how do we interpret this? On one level, you can interpret it as there might be elements of the media that may consider people not to be as bright as they actually are. But the way I interpret this is very much a card about faith. And I think a lot of people have begun to lose their faith in mainstream media. Now, it doesn't mean that it's all lies and this, that, and the other, but everything has to be curated to an extent to an audience, and that can sometimes compromise the message. There's also as well a lot of things that are not reported in mainstream media as well, and that's just as important. Let me just move my thing. because that's not necessarily lying, but you're not being given, you're not being presented with things. If we look here as well, there is an element here too where the government has also had an influence, a big influence over the media as well. This is well documented now, and it's something we're going to have to talk about more in 2024. I don't want to quite go there full steam ahead just yet in 2024. I want to kind of ease people in based on the stuff that I've already observed and the astrology and everything that is unfolding already. But in terms of higher authorities' influence over the media is a big thing. This is part of the reason why people are turning away, but this also speaks as well of how non-conventional media is starting to become the authority, particularly as a source of spiritual knowledge as well. Let's not forget the Hierophant isn't just government. It talks about spiritual, it can talk about orthodoxy, but it has a lot to do with spirituality as well, and the guru. So I think a lot of people are finding their gurus in alternative media because they don't feel that they can trust the narrative that they've necessarily been presented with. And, you know, these things are key. If we look here, the outcome card, another major arcana. So that's 3 out of 5 cards, major arcana. This is about important choices to be made going forward. So what this suggests is that kind of more legacy media, they do have to make important decisions to make sure that they stay relevant. It's already been said that actually non-standard media is actually setting a lot of the agenda of what is debated and talked about, because of course it's fresh, it's alternative, and it's much more based on what people are really discussing. So this tells me that conventional media is reaching an inflection point where they are going to have to kind of be more authentic in general. You can't have just Fox just brazenly and the like lying about stuff, you know, false elections and this, that, and the other, but also as well, the other channels as well also need to be a bit more honest about things, because when you look at the astrology and when I listen to what my clients are telling me on the ground, a lot of what is reported in the news isn't really matching up, and it's no longer serving the thirst of many people. It's fascinating, but you can also see as well how the media, with their blanket coverage as well of Duc Larange, has actually in many ways facilitated and made him a much more powerful figure than he otherwise would if he had more normal or less blanketing coverage, and vice versa. So anyway, I hope that answered your question. Let's see who else is in the house. So we have got here Cheryl is here, and she's saying person's got to eat, so she might be talking about media. Let's see here. 1 minute. Oh God, it's just jumped a little bit. Forgive me here. Oh, someone's saying, Teresa's saying, this is so funny. She's saying, I can see, what's Teresa? She said, I can see your pants are hanging up behind. LOL. It's very humid here. Today was the first day where it's actually been cool, and we went out to the ancient ruins. We went to this place called Koba, and we were out in the ancient ruins and stuff like that, which was fabulous. But today was the first cool day. I've literally been waking up in puddles of sweat. My mozzie bites have calmed down, but oh my God, my arm was like this. It was just so lumpy. You can still see some of the. Hopefully it won't scar. Anyway, let's just see here. Let's just see. Yes, time zone. Oh, so someone's here in Hawaii. Let's have a look. So Queen of Course says, yes, time's out here in Hawaii is a way nicer for me. I can catch a live. Oh, yes, absolutely. And there's someone here as well who's this here? It is Petra Hartman. I'm so happy that I got you on the chat. Let me click this one up. This isn't my quickest laptop. So happy I got you on the chat from California, beautiful Napa Valley. Oh, gorgeous. That is a lovely part of the world. And we've got here as well, we've got Michael Hill, Christopher Guala, Julie Goulet. Hello, Julie. Hey, everyone, friends in Hogarth. Oh, yeah, I think I did that. Oh, look, that's another one. Right. They're trying to bite me here, but I've got my citronella on now, and they don't like that. So let's read a question that has come in here from Nicola McClafferty. So this is what Nicola said. As it seems so bizarre, can cards confirm whether the orange buffoon, we know who that is, was asked to do a cameo in Home Alone 2, or is his claim that he was begged to appear in it true? Also, why aren't all media clips where he openly admits to refusing to hand over presidency not being used in court? Hope Hall's going well and enjoy the heat because it's blowing a gale or two back in Blighty. We've got a cold snap in the UK, so I've managed to get out of Dodge for the cold weather just in the right time. We've had blizzards, floods, and the whole shebang. Let's ask, why aren't all the media clips where he openly admits to refusing to hand over the presidency not being used in court? Great question. And then we'll do a quick one on the Home Alone. I think the truth is, look, Dr. Orange always says everyone begs him for this and that. Oh, and if you hear a snap, just like you heard just there, sounds like a little firecracker. That's the mosquitoes being burnt up in the UV. They still get me at night, though, if I'm not careful. You see? There it is. Literally, I'm rubbed down in citronella. They've been just zapping me from all directions. All right. So let's see. Why aren't all the media clips where he openly admits to refusing to hand over presidency being used in court? Good question. I mean, look, as you guys know, I've said before, and I know it's not necessarily a message everyone wants to hear, but you've heard me say before, I've said the judiciary, sadly, a lot of them, particularly if they're conservative, they want Trump to win. The fact that this is even still a debate, and the fact that the guy is not in jail or been struck off because he did partake in insurrection, it just shows you what the scenario is. It's just ridiculous, really. The whole thing is ridiculous. He's so obviously guilty, but there you are. Okay, why aren't all the media clips of him, what is it, openly admitting to hand over presidency, why are they not being used? Says Nicola. Let's have a look. Let's pull this down a little bit. Why are they not being used? Close my eyes. They're not being used. You might be able to hear fans blowing in the background as well. That's to keep me cool and to keep the mosquitoes off, which are rabid. Right, let's see. Why are they not being used? Oh, a reversal. Ah, of course. All right, here we go. Right, why they're not being used? There's not a consensus. Yeah, you can see here, this is the 5 of Wands, struggle, conflict, not agreeing. Oh, look at that. A mosquito has fallen into the water. Oh my God, let me use my bottled water. Sorry, 1 minute. Jesus, it's ridiculous. Over 300 of you now here. Thank you so much, guys. Particularly as I had to delay and stuff like that. Anyway, back to the reading. 5 of Wands. So look, there is not a consensus yet. There is still arguments and fights in between. How there cannot be a consensus on what happened by now is, I just find ridiculous. And I'm sure you all do too. He's admitted it in several different levels. It's not a question of whether he did it or not. We all know. But is everyone else willing to just go with the obvious and do the right thing? No, they're not. They're conflicted. Yeah. Because what you have is you have different political persuasions, different political influences, different agendas being put forward. We've all heard now, I think, pretty much of, what is it, Project 25, which is this rampantly kind of far, not even conservative, far right agenda to basically remove everyone's, rights, particularly women's rights, etc. Anyone who's non-Christian and, cis straight male is basically in trouble. Yeah. So there's not a consensus about how to approach this, because if everyone was on the same page, it'd just be obvious that Duck Larange would be in jail already. Yeah. We look here, the obstacle position. Look, we've got the Page of Wands in reverse. So it's Wands again. Wands all about heat, about passion. When the Page of Wands is the right way up, all pages deal with messaging, don't they? They deal with messages coming up. This card is also known as the Orator. But this can also deal with education and youth, but it's in the reverse position. What I would say is, now look, people may not necessarily like this, but I have to read what is, and I was just reading a BBC article actually that I may share. There is an issue here as well in regard to youth. And why am I talking about that? Quite a lot of the youth are not necessarily what am I put here? Blah, blah, blah. Not all of the youth are necessarily on board with the message. Duck Larange does have a lot of support, and we have to respect obviously people's decisions, whether we agree with them or not. But this also as well is talking about the messaging in general. It's kind of like it's upside down. There's been so many lies, so much obfuscation, so much has happened, particularly since the pandemic. No one trusts the messaging of anyone or anything anymore. So even if you warn people and say, well, look, he's going to basically, that's going to be the end of democracy and stuff like that, people will be like, nah, you're overplaying it. Yeah, that kind of thing. So even the messaging is being completely construed. If we look here, so why is it not being used? Isn't this interesting? Here we got the Queen of Wands. Putting, the Queen of Wands is like the hostess who brings everyone together, deals with the messaging, deals with the tribe, deals with the community. But this we could also look at as well as female judges. Let's not forget we've got Judge Cannon, actually quite a few female judges that have kind of, gone in Duck Larange's favor. We had Colorado, where they said he can't be on the ballot, and now they're all facing death threats. And then I think in Michigan they said he can be on the ballot. Do you see? It's this conflict here between the conservative values, or so-called conservative values, or democratic values. No, there's no agreement. You also have the independents as well. If we look here, no one's really liking what's on offer at the moment. And I think in many ways this describes the electorate. Yeah, the electorate. There's a lot of apathy out there. The people are divided. They are not as one. There's no consensus. There's no agreement about what should be the right things going forward. He's obviously partaken in insurrection, and then some people go, well, by this definition or that definition, do you see what I mean? And I think it's leaving everyone dejected. No one's really liking the options on the table. No one's really liking Duck Larange, and we know not necessarily everyone supports Biden. I think people might be even wanting more independent candidates, and this is what this could talk about as well. Something coming out of the sky, something coming out that maybe people haven't necessarily thought of as an option. If we look here though as well, in terms of the wider question, why aren't his videotapes of him admitting all of this stuff being used in court? Again, we can see here deals, partnerships. It goes back to here, this lack of consensus. It's almost as if each case is being dealt with on a case-by-case basis, rather than a general ruling just going, look, it's so obvious what he did. We all know what's happened. Let's just all move forward as a country and just go, yeah. It's not. It's like there's sweetheart deals with each of the individual justices in between. The lower court says one thing, then the higher court says another. The higher court says another, and they get death threats. And then do you see what I mean? It's all discombobulated, but at the end of the day, it's dealing with these deals. So really, I think this is a lot to do with the conservative base and conservative judges who want a more conservative agenda, which has been epitomized by the SCOTUS. But of course, whatever SCOTUS does also as well you see, filters down. And really and truly, it's about the deals that were pre-made. This stuff was prearranged, guys. That's the way I'm seeing it. And they're going to do their best, as you know, to get a certain you-know-who into the White House. Yeah. So there's that. Let's see what other questions you have. Please give your questions to me in the comments below. Let's see who else is here. Someone says here, oh, what's it called? Someone's saying, hello, oh my God, is that the same Mexico house? How are the puppies mosquito bites? No, this is a different place. So this is where I'm actually staying with my friends. The other one, where you saw me on Saturday, it was friends of friends, and we were all looking after their dogs. Those were the Chihuahuas and the stuff like that. So that was in a different part of town. So it's all been very changeable, folks. A lot of moving around. The mosquito bites are better now. I've got some of this spray stuff, which has got some citronella in it, which is I found really helpful. And the temperature has gone down. Oh, someone's saying yes, the bard. Let's see if we can have that maybe for a specific person. We all know what the bard thinks of Duck L'Orange by now. Let's see here. Ooh, let's have a look. So, oh, how do I say that? Sotritionist. The US, what's it? The US FBI raiding NYC Mayor Adams' campaign finance person seems to be very suspicious when he was in DC meeting with Biden. What is the energy really behind this? All right, let's take a look. All right, let's click that up. And then someone is asking about Belize, whether or not it will leave and become part of the Commonwealth. But let's deal with this one here. Okay, let's read on this. What's the energy around the raid? I mean, he's certainly done some stuff, hasn't he, it seems. And look, my whole thing is this. What's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander, yeah? Obviously, we want all of the, GOP types or whatever, or the far right types to be held to account. But if Democrats have done similar or scammy stuff as well, they need to be held account as well, because then obviously, that will just validate what some people, would like to call a witch hunt. So I say, regardless of stripe, be it Democrat, independent or Republican, politicians that do wrong need to face their comeuppance. Otherwise, everything gets undermined and eroded. This is why people are so doubtful, because a certain Duck L'Orange hasn't really been held to full account yet. And there still isn't agreement about his guilt, which I just find ridiculous. So obvious. Anyway. So what's the energy around the raid of Mayor Adams? The raid of Mayor Adams. What's the energy? Click off that. Let's just have a look here. The raid of Mayor Adams. Raid on Mayor Adams. Mayor Adams. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share to support the channel. It really helps. Ah, look at this. Look at this. And if anyone wants to join me on my retreat as well, after the video, I will just click the link. My agents emailed it to me earlier, but I was out, and I'll put it in the video description, and you just click on that link if you want to find out more and sign up and stuff like that. All right. We look here straight off the bat. we've got the Nine of Swords. So of course this is a huge worry for Mayor Adams, this whole raid and everything like that. He's probably had sleepless nights about it, you know, them finding out different kind of stuff or what have you. But you know, this is you know, it's difficult. It means sleepless nights, nightmares, worry, angst. Swords in general, they remember they deal with the mind. They're the element of wind as well. So this is the mental activity, the intellect, but this can also deal with worry, concern, anticipating maybe negative things happening in the future. You can see here the person really hasn't slept well at all. If we look in the obstacle position, now this is really interesting. So we've got the Queen of Wands is back again. Now, remember, the Queen of Wands is primarily a female energy, but it's a spirited female energy that brings everyone together in negotiation, talk, discussion, stuff like that. And it's a woman who uses her intuition. But look, it's happening in the obstacle position. So I think the finance manager was female, wasn't it? As far as I understand. Let me know in the comments if I'm correct on that. But I think the finance manager is female. So this is saying that, and she's turning up in the obstacle position. So it's almost like this is the bit where maybe this is where the FBI kind of got wind of certain things. I think her offices were raided. I'm not sure if they've raided his yet as well. I can't remember here. Let me just see. My mouse. Oh God, my mouse is being fiddly. I can't remember what the person said. Let me just get the back up again. Here we are. Let's just see it. Just getting the question back up. Yeah, campaign. Yeah, will the U.S. FBI raiding NYC Mayor Adams' campaign finance person seem to be very suspicious? So I think she's female. Yeah, but let me know in the comments if I'm correct. If we look here in the middle, this is, you know, exceptionally emotional. This is normally a card that is associated with wellness, well-being, happiness. Everything is working fine, but obviously it's happening in the context of this mental anguish and a raid of a female's offices. Maybe his will be next. So this is talking more about the emotion overflowing. You know, just like, whoa, yeah, there's a lot going on. If we look here, though, the next card, look, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, which shows it's what? It's about money. It's about money. I'm not sure if he's not the guy who had the gold bars, isn't it? That's someone else. But this is what about the campaign finance. So it shows that the investigation, the FBI really are looking for the big money here, and we'll have to see what happens, what transpires. But the clue is given, of course, in the outcome. And look, we see here the Three of Swords. So this suggests that, you know, the news probably isn't going to be great for Adams. It could be that the raid or the investigation spreads out, or maybe gets deeper and becomes more serious. Yeah, might become more serious. So let's look at that. In fact, I need to make notes of what I've been saying. Where's my pen? Give me a second here, folks. Un momento. So I need to remember what I've been talking about to you guys, so I can put in the video description. Where's my pens? This is a tricky thing. When they're not. Here we go. So I'm back. When one isn't at home, one doesn't have all of the usual conveniences. Just got my pens here. Let me get my biro out. So we spoke about what was it? Trump words not used against him. This one was Mayor Adams. This one, I can't remember what the first one was now. And let's just click up on here. So someone has asked me, will Belize leave the Commonwealth and become a republic? Great question. Let's put that there. Belize, leave Commonwealth. Wealth. There we are. Let's have a look. Oh, look what's at the base of the deck. A poverty card is already there. Let's have a look. See, will Belize leave the Commonwealth? It's a separate thing. Because you know, guys, normally when I'm at home, I print all the questions out. I've got them numbered and stuff like that, but that's just not possible here. Belize. Will they leave the Commonwealth? Will they leave the Commonwealth? Let's have a look. All right, let's have a look. See. Oh, another reversal. This is very interesting. Aha. Okay, there we go. All right, Belize. First of all, yes, it's a thing of legal contention. Here we can see the Queen of Swords, which deals with logic, legality, sharpness of wit, working things out, and being kind of logical, clinical, and methodical in what one does. So this is showing Belize maybe having a critical viewpoint on the whole Commonwealth itself, and spectating, wondering if they want to stick around. Yeah. We look here in the obstacle position, we have the world card, and it's actually reversed. So this is really interesting. So what does this mean? So when the world is the right way up, we can see it as endings and beginnings, beginnings and endings, a grand cycle coming to an end. But also as well, when it's reversed, it can mean sort of like a kind of a mediocre result. It's just unsatisfactory. Something comes to an end, but it's kind of like it's a bit like a wah, 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 wah. So what this tells me here is that Belize is probably not satisfied with being within the Commonwealth, and they're not really liking, that, and that's probably one of the reasons why they want to leave. In the middle here, we see the death card here, and we know it's not literally a kind of death, but this is about transformation, getting rid of the old and out with the new. So this is Belize pondering its future. Yeah, away from the dominance of the king, which you can see here is being trampled underfoot. And here is the family, this could be the Commonwealth wanting them to stay. And look, this is the pleading, clergy, and the death comes anyway. So it looks like Belize might be ready to kind of make some significant changes in their approach. If we look here, it's also to do with messaging. This can also deal with youth as well. Pages are young, and as we know, pages also deal with messages. But look, it's swords, so it deals with intellectual arguments. Sometimes it can be known as the spy in the camp, but I think this is more about kind of Belize kind of going forward with intellectual independence, seeing its own sense of freedom. And of course, wanting to gain its own authority, its own sovereignty, to take its own spiritual path, to be its own governor, because this is authority. So this can represent, on one hand, the Commonwealth itself and its rules and its regulations being part of a bigger partnership and dogma. But this could also represent the country of Belize wanting to become its own authority and maybe break with convention, rules and regulations. So I hope that was helpful for you. Quite straightforward, actually, that one there. Let's see what else you are saying in the chat and who else is with me. My mouse will just cooperate. So keep leaving questions, folks. I'm going to scroll down and see who is here. I've got Miss Annie who's saying hi from Iowa. Loving with joy. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. All right, loving with joy. Let's have a look. Loving with joy says, question, why did Nikki Haley choose not to cite slavery as the reason for the Civil War? Did she? God, what a douchebag. Well, it's pretty obvious why. Yeah, the main reason why is because she is being supported, of course, by the far right, which contains a lot of you-know-who kind of supremacist types. Let's put it that way. And for her to admit that would be a direct affront to her particular donors. That's my instinct on that. But let's see what the cards have to say. because we all know that's what the Civil War was fought over in America. And if anyone says anything different, they are absolutely lying, or they are utterly ignorant of the basic fundamental histories of what the Civil War was about. And for those that may or may not know, the Democrats, or what was Democrats, was essentially wanted slavery to be abolished and for it to be free, everyone to be free, and the South held on. Nikki Haley, of course, is technically running as a conservative, but really we all know it's all moved to, with Duck L'Orange, it's all moved much further to the right. I think she's now sponsored by the Koch brothers and whoever else, again, for entertainment purposes only. So for her to directly admit what the Civil War was all about flies in the face of this supremacist agenda, which says that slavery wasn't so bad because they left with life skills. Yeah, it's like they can make horseshoes. It wasn't so bad. They could build a roof. It wasn't so bad. Yeah. What about the rape, pillage, torture, and goodness knows what else? And of course, being forced to work for free. So ridiculous. Nikki Haley, why didn't she just come out with the obvious truth? These douchebags, honestly. We'll do Shakespeare on Nikki Haley. How about that? Yeah, that's an individual we can call on. All right. We'll see the cards, and then we'll see what the bard has to say about you know who. And remember, I said she was the dark horse from the first reading, way back when they had the first debates. I said, watch out for her. She's a dark horse, and she's encroaching on Duck L'Orange, they say, if we can take the polls seriously. Anyway, Nikki Haley, why did she skirt the obvious in her thing? What's the energy there? Let's see what turns up. If we get the Ace of Pentacles, then we know it's all about the money. Might get the Seven of Swords, but I don't want to preempt. Let's have a look, see. Well, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, so that's already talking about a lot. All right, here we are. Here we go. Here we go, folks. God, there's 375 of you now. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. And please don't forget, if you've not subscribed already and you'd like to support my channel, please click the bell notification and the like and subscribe. And of course, share as well. All right. Here's Nikki Haley. She's turned up right here. Queen of Pentacles. But look, the Queen of Pentacles is all about stability, security, not rocking the boat. You'll notice here she's holding on to that coin very attentively. This, I think, is talking about Nikki Haley's, her new backers, yeah, her new sponsors, the one that are kind of essentially funding her campaign. They want to present her as a person as a paragon of conservative values. Yeah, I am a mother, I'm this, I'm that, I'm going to look after the economy of the USA. I'm a safe pair of hands. And in many ways, actually, that's not too absurd for some people to conclude when you compare to, Duck L'Orange, who is a loose cannon. So she is seen as a safe pair of hands, but I think she's seen as a safe pair of hands by her benefactors, by her investors, the Koch brothers and all of this kind of stuff. Or Koch. Anyway, if we look here, look, we have got the Eight of Wands, which is normally about things moving forward at pace, yeah? Things moving forward at pace and speed, alacrity, everything rushing forward. But this is technically in the obstacle position. So what this could mean when it's reversed, it could mean hiccups, delays, business not kind of working out quite well, maybe investments or whatever it is that we're hoping to move forwards kind of hits the skids a bit. And in a way, her inability to be able to say what the Civil War was fought over, when anyone with two brain cells knows, in a way, this might actually kind of wake people. Well, there's a lot of delusion out there, but let's just say it's kind of like a spanner in the works. She's kind of tripped up a little bit in a way that she wasn't necessarily expecting to. Who is it in regards to? If we look here, can be Duck L'Orange, his energy. But I think this is actually more about her sponsors. Oh, did you hear that bang? That's another mosquito that bit the dust just there. So This, I think, is really talking about her benefactors, the people that are supporting her, the entrepreneurial class that really are big kind of like supporters of more of the kind of right-wing agenda, but they feel that, Duck L'Orange is just a bit too much. He's just a bit too crazy. So they're putting their money behind Nikki Haley. Yeah. So this is really, they've appeared in the center. This is what it's all about. However, this is going to be a tough tightrope for her to walk. Yeah. She's kind of bitten off. Whatever her true personal beliefs are, I don't think we'll ever quite know, because I think she kind of changes with the wind, a bit like, what's her name? Carrie Lake, or who I call, Weather Vane, yeah, changing with the wind. This is quite burdensome, yeah, because kind of to deny what this Civil War was all about, trying to say it's not about slavery is just ridiculous. So she's going to be burdened with some of the absurdities of the things that she's going to have to deny or just pretend she doesn't know, which is ridiculous. But why is she doing this? It's all about this sense of nostalgia. Isn't it interesting? Whenever we talk about the GOP, or the more far right of the inclinations, it's always about a nostalgia, about a past that wasn't necessarily true. Here she's trying to deny the past of slavery and stuff like that, but it's not just that. It's this idealized, whitewashed, white picket fence. Everyone was happy. Jack, what's the big fuss about? We should just all be glad. Let's just go lurch to the right because everyone's going to be fine, when we know it's not going to be the case. It's going to be fine for some who perceive themselves to be having this inheritance of this nostalgic idyll where everyone knew their place, yeah, and and all of the other kind of stuff, and particularly as well in regards to their attitudes to women and people of color, which is why she couldn't admit what the Civil War was all about. So there we are. Let me just put right down here, Nikki Haley. Oh, let's squeeze one more in. Let's put here Nikki Haley, slavery, Duck's question. All right. Scribble that up. Let's see what else is in the chat. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Oh, hi from Brisbane. Someone, my goodness. Let's click that one up. Oh, it's Mitz. Hi from Brisbane, Australia. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see here. Someone's saying here, Michael Grant, I lived in Memphis, Third Eye. How's Beale Street? Ooh. What's this here? Someone's asking, will Washington, D.C. become a state? So I guess it's not a state already. I guess it would be like the Vatican, wouldn't it? I mean, it kind of... Oh, there we are. Let's look at this one. In a way, what I would say is with Washington, D.C., from what I understand, in a way, Washington, D.C. really does almost operate as a separate state. I think that's fair enough to say, in the sense of Washington, D.C., from what I understand, now correct me if I'm wrong or contribute to these comments, but for me, it's very much like a Vatican state. The Vatican is actually the smallest principality or the smallest state in the world. And in a way, Washington, D.C. is a bit like that because it's so connected with, the government, White House, Congress and stuff like that. Even though it's not officially a state, I think you can consider it a separate state because it really does run on its own rules. From what, I've been told by professionals that work in Washington state or have careers there, family there, I've just heard that consistently. So I would say it is in all but name. Anyway, so do I see riots on the street when Trump loses in 2024? Let's have a look. First of all, his loss is not guaranteed. Yeah, sorry, guys. Look, the second you start thinking stuff is nailed on, what does the universe do? Yeah, what does the universe do? I think 2024 is actually going to be a lot closer than people think. And you're going to have a lot of it, not a lot, but you're going to have a few independents mixing up the waters. Remember, Liz Cheney says she wants to run. Adam Kissinger says she wants to run. You've got, what's it, R.F. Kennedy's, who I think is still doing stuff, although he's not spoken about. He wants to run, plus Biden, plus Duck L'Orange. So let's not assume, yeah, because assumption is the mother of disaster. We need to remember that. Anyway. Will there be riots? Let's see. Let's see. I'm just trying to keep it balanced, folks. I'm trying to keep it balanced because, you know, sometimes there can be a little bit too much hopium out there. And I do believe in hope. Hope is very important. Like I said, magic is coming back. But false hope is dreadful, is poison. Yeah. So we have to try and be realistic and look at how the energies really are actually playing out in real time. Yeah. But more will be revealed, and I'll reveal more in 2024. Anyway, will there be riots on the street when Duck L'Orange loses in 2024? We assume. All right, let's bring this down. Let's have a look. Will there be riots in the street when Duck L'Orange loses? Remember what I said about Trump? He should lose on paper in terms of his chart and stuff like that. But the only way he would win would be a miracle or a huge act of evil, like I've said before. And there are certain... Anyway, I'm going to leave it for now. I want everyone to enjoy their Christmas. We'll get into the weeds of this later. Oh. Very interesting. All right, if we look here, will there be riots? Oh, there's over 400 of you now. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone, especially as I was a little bit delayed. But you could see I was being served food by the amazing kids who live around here. We're serving all the parents, like kids up to teenagers. They did a great job, and it was delicious. What did we have? Some Parma ham with melon and some kind of cheesy thing for the starter. Then we had a sort of like a Thai coconut kind of curry type thing. And then we had steak with potato dauphinoise and some beans, which was delicious. And then we had a kind of deconstructed Eton mess. So we had meringue, strawberries and sweet whipped cream. It was gorgeous. Anyway, getting back to the matter. Duck L'Orange, will there be riots? Listen, if he doesn't win, things really are going to move at a pace. Yeah, remember, we've got this Project 25, and you've got a lot of absolutely rancid douchebags that really want to basically throw all of America into Gilead. I mean, that's not even exaggerating it. Anyone who's had a passing reference with Project 25 can see that horribleness that these people have got planned. So either way, they're going to try and rush forward with their plans, but this is them really trying to push, impose their will. Yeah. However, look, something hits the skids. Something hits the skids, because we've got the tower, which is turned up in the obstacle position here. Now, the tower, of course, can be shocks, revelations, surprises, the unexpected. But what this says to me is there might be an unexpected hitch that happens with the plans of these people, you know, because really, look, Duck L'Orange is just a figurehead for the far right in all but name. Well, not even all but name. He's gone full fat fascist now. He's the figurehead of a much bigger agenda that is using him as their vehicle. Let's not forget that the chariot is literally a vehicle. Duck L'Orange is who they see as their vehicle, at least for now. But something goes wrong. Something hits the skids. Will there be riots? I'm not sure, because a lot of people are behind bars. And, you know, you got to be pretty silly, yeah, to follow Duck L'Orange now. However, if we look in the middle, we have the Six of Wands, which can talk about the victory card. But a victory for whom? What this says to me is, I think it's likely that the winner is going to be disputed. Yeah, we know when Biden won, he won by a big margin. Yeah, and even we've known Sidney Powell, the crack, and all those douchebags. Yeah, they've admitted their guilt. Yeah, so all of this stuff of like Biden didn't actually win by blah blah blah. He did, yeah, because they've admitted their guilt. A lot of Republicans are like, we need to move on from this. But what it means is, here, what this says to me is the victory, the winner could be disputed. There could be something like tower-like connected with it around who the winner is. That means there could be a shock of who the winner is. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's Duck L'Orange. It could be someone else, guys. I've not gone into it, but what I want to do in 2024, I really want to help share what I'm seeing in the energies. It's gonna be quite surprising. Yeah, the winner, it could be a shock. Yeah, look, I'm just reading the cards. Major Arcana again. If we look here, look, we've got the Lovers, yeah, which is about making choices and stuff like that. This tells me this could be contentious, really contentious. You might have people trying to come forward and impose their will. Look, Major Arcana card here. There's some kind of shock or debate or, you know, something surprising about who the winner really is. You know why? Because there's going to be a good chance we might have 2 or 3 independents running in the 2024 US elections. So obviously things are going to be split a lot more. And a lot of poll workers and all this kind of stuff don't want to turn up because they've been so abused. Yeah, look at the case where they won against Mayor Giuliani, the mother and daughter, bless them. So this is about a lot of choices to be made here. This is the 3rd card out of 5, which is a Major Arcana. Major important choices. This means it could also as well, it could go to the courts, because this is what? Some kind of fateful decision on who the winner is. Yeah, do you see how that plays out? If we look here, though, we've got the King of Swords. And the King of Swords, of course, deals with legalities of all kinds. Legalities, it also deals with logic. He deals with accountancy, business, even surgeons, stuff like that. So what this says to me is that it's going to go to the courts. I think the courts may decide who the winner is, but it could be a surprise. It may not be who we're expecting to be. Obviously most people are hoping that it's Joe Biden, but if it's not Joe Biden, it doesn't mean it's Trump either. It could be a complete shock. Yeah, I'm just reading the cards. As you know, guys, I'm not here to blow air up people's you know what and just, you know, it's not sugar and candy floss. This is really important stuff, and I take this seriously in just reading the cards, and that's what I see. Major Arcana is here, 3 out of 5 Major Arcana, and there is some shock element around who the victor is. Very important choices to be made, likely of a legal nature, but you're going to have people from behind trying to push forward their agenda. So quite a juicy one to leave it on, but let's see how 2024 unfolds. I've already done my little predictions anyway, but you heard it here first. If no one else has said it, there's gonna be some surprises. 2024 is going to be a very interesting year. Anyway, I've rabbited on enough. Look, it's 2 minutes past the hour already. It went in an absolute flash. I want to say thank you to everyone that has joined me this evening. Oh, there's some donations here. Sorry, let me click on here. Thank you. I've just seen. Thank you, Tati Gem. I think this is. Thank you, Tati Gem. A little something towards your tequila fund. I've not had any tequila yet, but thank you. Who else here as well? We've got here a super sticker from Mireille. Oh, Mireille, I know who you are. Mwah! Thank you so much. Who else is here as well? So Kathleen. Oh yeah. Oh, I've read on that one. Thank you, Kathleen, for your question. And Sherry Burke, thank you for your donation as well. Much appreciated. And I will leave it there, folks. So my the next Hogali is going to be Saturday the 30th, so New Year's Eve. Lena is still up for it. It's going to be her Sunday morning, so I think she's all good. So you will see us on Hogali. For those that may have been tuning in at the end and were curious about the retreat, Rome and Florence has won. Yeah. Oh, It is absolutely stunning. But for those that I'm going to put in the link as well so people can find out more information. I will let you guys know when it's time, when everything's open. We need to get every dates confirmed, but we're looking at the middle of October 2024. You can pay in installments. I think it's a 25% deposit, but then it can take up to July 2024 for you to make your final payment. Some of you can even go 18 months if you want. So don't worry, people can get stuck in, and they can, it's affordable. Let's put it that way. I will leave it there. Thank you so much to everyone for joining me this evening. Interesting pool, isn't it? Buckle up, folks. For 2024, there's going to be very, very interesting things, but expect the unexpected, especially as we get closer to that election. We'll have to see how it unfolds. I just read the cards. As you know, no agendas here. Everyone reads in their own way, but that's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm sticking with. All right, I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you for all the love and support, and I will see you on Hoggerly on Saturday. Mwah! Big love. Bye-bye for now. Cheers.